Hey, what is up guys, it's JC here and welcome for another video for Godfall. Today we are looking at Aegishorn and I'll be sharing with you an improved tank build which I made just for him. My previous build for Aegishorn, which was the colossal tank build, made use of a really high overhealth gain in order to tank almost anything, just as long as you're hitting the opponent. Even though we were really tanky, we weren't able to dish out a lot of damage. So my goal for this build was to be able to tank all the damage as well as deal a lot of damage as well. So let's get right into the build. For the weapons, we will be using the Sword of Archons. This is by far the strongest longsword in the game, just by what the primary ability offers, giving you around 200% soul shatter buildup if your might is lower than any other attribute. This sword is dropped as a cursed weapon, so it can only be obtained from the Lightbringer mode. Now this sword's ability is great, but it can be really tricky to get it right and use it correctly. Since most of our damage will come from our might gear and might augments, it can get difficult to activate this primary ability. But when it is active though, this weapon is crazy. You'll be able to build a full soul shatter on all enemies regardless of what level they are. Make sure your weapons have and you upgrade crit chance, as it will be very important. Also make sure the weapons you use are all in void DPS so we can inflict curse. The reason why we want to inflict curse is because cursed enemies will do less damage, so it'll be easier to tank the damage that we all deal. For the next weapon we'll have dual blades on, preferably the obsidian blades. This dual blades will give you polarity attack charge whenever you land a critical hit. There is a reason why we want to charge polarity attack, and we will go over that when we look at the augments. Now, for the main reason why this build is super tanky as well as deals a lot of damage is the amulet. We will be using the Sunsteel's crest. Cursed enemies in general will deal less damage to you, but this amulet will decrease the damage even further as well as increase your damage against them. In order to use the Sword of Archons, your might needs to be low, so make sure your amulet offers spirit instead of might. For the charm, we will be using the Matrix Star to get that weapon technique charged quickly, as well as applying the Mark of Fragility. If you are a Challenger Edition player, then go for the Lion's Talisman. For the rings, we will be using the Dust Lord's Signet, so we can expose weak points and do greater damage. For the second ring, I have the Chromatic Circle. This will boost our void damage greatly. This ring drops as an uncommon ring, which we will have to then enchant up to a legendary. Make sure this ring also offers spirit, so we can use the longsword. For the Livestone and the banner, we will be keeping them to the Archon's tier and the Mace's bandroll. Now let's take a look at the augments. The first augment that I want to go over is the Predestination. This augment will allow you to perform takedowns on enemies that are hit with your polarity attacks if you have two adjacent green augments. Aegishorn's Augment Constellation allows easy use of this augment. This is why we are using the Obsidian Blades as a secondary weapon to get that polarity attack charged quickly. This is a great augment to use, as those pesky shielded enemies are easy to take out with this. For the remaining might augments, we have the Twilight Bloom to get that really high weapon take damage. Then we are using Iron Heart. This will give us burn and crit chance, but lower our rampage charge speed, which will be no issue. Then for the last might augment, we are using Focus. This will give us overhealth whenever we land a critical hit. Pairing this augment with our vitality augment Void Shell, which will give us even more overhealth on critical hits, we will have a lot of overhealth whenever we land crits. These two augments are the reason why we need to get crit chance really high. For the remaining vitality augments, we are using Force Barrier, so we will not get interrupted in our attacks while above 50% overhealth. Then we use Rift to get bonus damage per element on the enemy. For the last vitality augment, we are using Fortitude. This will allow our overhealth to not drain really quickly while out of combat. For the one spirit augment, we will get Warp, just as a safety precaution to inflict status if we ever end up using our Lifestone. Make sure on all your vitality augments you upgrade overhealth gain and add resistances as your masterwork. On your might augments, make sure to add void damage, weak point damage or weapon technique damage. Then for the masterwork, add in more weapon tech damage, or if your might is high, then add in either spirit or vitality values so we can use the Sword of Archons. Let's take a look at the skill tree. If your might is high, make sure to lower some points in might if needed. Make sure to go fully into polarity attack so you can charge it up fast even while your longsword is active. Here is a look at the Ascension powers and the stat sheet. That's mostly it on the build guys. This build is super tanky and is able to kill almost everything really quickly as well, which was the downfall on my last build for him. If you have a crit chance around 60% or higher, you should be fine to go through any content in the game. The Sword of Archons works great on all enemies. It will build up soul shatter really quickly and easily, allowing you to kill super fast. It may not be the best for bosses, which is why we have the dual blades to take care of bosses for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more amazing Godfall builds. Comment down below what you guys think. Will you be using the Sword of Archons or any other weapon? Let me know. I will catch you all next time.